going through high school, we saw that there was great potential for leaders and for students to get involved. But what we noticed that was there wasn't a space for just girls in terms of connecting with each other, talking about issues that matter to us. So during the summer when we just graduated, we came across this great opportunity through the United Way of PO region. They have what they're called Youth in Action grants. So my friend and I, 3 a.m. in the morning, talking to each other, wouldn't it be cool if we could provide a mentorship opportunity or something like that for girls in our region? So we applied, and long story short, we were successful in receiving a $1,500 grant in that first year to put together this program. When I think about evaluation, the word that comes in my mind first is change. We want to think about changing evaluation in and of itself. Change in evaluating is more than that. It should be more than just a check mark. It should be more than just percentages and that sort of thing. And for us, we really think it should be conversational and allow for it to be informal, and to also allow for anonymous feedback. Because sometimes in a group setting, some people aren't as comfortable with critiquing your program, etc. Think of it as a dynamic process and not just an end goal. What we learned today, we can use tomorrow right away, and not necessarily waiting till the end of the reporting process. So I'm really, really, really excited to be here today with all of you. Thank you so much for having me here, and I'm excited to meet you all.
The first words that come to your mind when you hear the term evaluation. For me, the first one was funder. The second word was trend. But I don't think either one of those are what we would want to be the association of evaluation. And I don't think either one of those should be the spirit. This is kind of like the convergence of research and evaluation that has emerged. But in the beginning, for me, my understanding of research was academic or in journalism or sports, like stats on teams and players and how they're doing. I never had an aspiration of being a part of the nonprofit sector. Kind of realized I was working in it a couple years after. And I think that this is a really big part of the conversation, because the big question at the heart of evaluation is this idea of distrust, right? Like, there's an overinvestment in Jane and Finch. There's overinvestment in the sector. There's funds that are not being used. How do we really know you're having the maximum impact? How do we really know you're doing the work? How are we supposed to prove to you that something that didn't happen? The next stage of it was the question of, why do we need to convince other people who aren't a part of what we're doing and who aren't in these spaces and who don't experience the impact, that impact is happening? We're not going to convince all those people by SBL saying, we did it, it works, it's great, and there needs to be evaluation. There needs to be research to show not just that it works, but also how it works. The last thing I'll say about how it also affects us is back to the word funders and trends. People see a report come out of some part of the states and be like, wow, look at the impact, look at those numbers. Do we just drop what we're doing and follow that trend? Or do we stay where we are? Because I know eventually that, 3 trends down the road, you're going to be back where we are now. So these are some of the challenges that we have with evaluation in our day-to-day, and looking forward to hearing from all of you now and reflecting together at the end. Thank you.
So, my name is Terrence. I'll do like we do in program. So my name is Terrence, and a little background about the program. It's been a really, really organic process. And it's been live and learn. At the very beginning, I said to them, literally the very first day, I am queer, but I am not the end-all and be-all. I don't know your story. I don't know your journey. I don't know your challenges. I'm here to help you. Tell me what you need. And that, to me, is what evaluation should be. It shouldn't lead it. It should support it. And that way it can evolve, right? But at the same time, so now doing this program, 3 years, we've gotten some funding. We've been able to trustee through Love, which is a great organization. We've actually modeled some of the programming off of the MAP program. And in the evaluations, I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my God, these questions are now very inclusive. we got some issues. You're exposing the youth. This is not appropriate. So when I have these questions, but I have to give them, so I'm like, okay, here you guys go. Oh, we don't like this question. Okay, put it. Say you don't like it. Cross it off. Say, I do not want to answer. Whatever you feel free. And that's been our process. And, it's risky, but if we're trying to affect change, why aren't we trying to affect change in the evaluation process as well? You know what I mean? It needs to evolve. An evaluation and research is not to lead. It's to support and learn and grow. And that's inherently the work that we do with the people as well, right? Because we're not the end-all and be-all. We're here because we want to help and support and grow, right? Evaluation, I think, is key for growth, right? And right now, I see that it's kind of like on that turning point. It's make or break it time, right? The whole sector is changing. I don't know if you guys can feel it. There's like breakdown and breakthrough. So what's going to happen? Are we going to break through, or are we going to break down? And in order for that to happen, evaluations and that process need to change itself. Because I can't do a catch-22. I can't be like, here, I'm using an evaluation to help you and learn and grow. But at the same time, I'm going to subject you to some violence by these questions that I'm asking you. It doesn't really work. So that's what I want to see. That's my bud, right? Let's see what happens.